Optimism and SWE are going to double the amount of tokens in circulation. What does this mean for the price? Let's figure it out together. This is Around the Blockchain. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday weekend, and some of our foreign friends, just hope you had a good weekend and a good Monday overall. Please hit that like button because we got some great guests. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin. Is the bull run over? Tether, is it taken over by mining Bitcoin and taking over USDC? And also some L2s. You're going to want to know about these tokens. They're about to double the amount of tokens in circulation. That might make the price crash. We're going to get into that. But first on, we have Joe Parys. Joe, holding it down. You got the favorite hoodie we all love. You're still rocking it in May. Are you going to still rock it in June, July, and August?
I mean, it's getting a little hot, it's getting a little green, it's getting a little warm, but, yeah, I mean, I got the air conditioning going in here, so it's,
all right.
It does its job.
All right. Joe is sweating, and it's not from looking at his meme bags. All right. Also on today, we have Crypto Factor, although that makes me sweat. Crypto Factor, some know you as Pauly D, but never Pauly. Is that correct?
Not Pauly D, man. Not Pauly D. Bad, you're sweating, though.
Hey. There's some red candles on the monthly. It's got me worried. Maybe Piano Matty B is going to help us out. Piano Matty B, have you punched any padded walls lately?
Yeah, up here in Canada, all we do is punch padded walls for about 9 months because it's winter. 9 months of the year up here.
Hey. Someone's got to like it, right? All right. Also, we have Army Piper, fresh off Memorial Day weekend. Did you have a good 3-day weekend?
It was a good long weekend, man. I can't complain. I did a little celebrating yesterday, hung out with the family, drank one for, my fallen brothers in arms. And, now I'm back. It's Tuesday. It's time to grind. Let's go.
Did you use your veteran status to like run red lights, cut people in line, anything like that?
No. Okay. I actually, even places that have military discounts, I don't even bring up that I have a military ID card.
But what if they had a chain link holder discount? Would you bring that up?
I actually have done that. I pulled out my wallet to get this hat and said, if I could show you X amount of money right now in my Link wallet, can I get a free hat? And they said, yeah, show me that. And I showed
them. Awesome. Hey, where are the Link Marines at? Hit that like button if you got a little chain link and you wrote it down for $50. All right, let's get right into the show. First, we have Bitcoin. It is up slightly, but I need to know what the price is going. We're looking at some monthlies. I'm seeing some pretty scary data, but we're coming off a low volume weekend. Piano Matty B, maybe you can help us decipher. Do you have some of that patented TA we could check out here?
I sure do, DZ. Thanks for asking. I wanted to take a look at some MACD bullish crosses on the daily chart, historically speaking, because, well, we just had one. Now, back on January 3rd, the MACD crossed bullish, and we saw a 46% gain before she crossed back. Next time she crossed bullish was on March 12th, and the subsequent gain was 49%, DZ. Now, if history wraps and rhymes and we add 45% sugar onto this crossing, it could take us all the way to, gods, 38.4, DZ. So that's the historic bullish crosses on the MACD.
Okay, now there's a lot of people saying, hey, maybe that little blip above 30 was that move up to 40 that we were all predicting. Do you have any of these similar thoughts? Or are you still, do you feel confident about the 38?
Well, I mean, my timeline is a little out there. I think it's in the summer, so these things play out. It took about 2 months for it to cross back. So I'm looking maybe halfway through 30 days on my T80. I said July 1st, so it's kind of just like a round number, but I'm thinking 30 days, 45 days.
All right. Well, you see the thing below me right there. It says Bitcoin bull over. We're not talking about the bull in Miami. We're not talking about the Wall Street bull. We have a pretty scary graphic, though. Maybe say this short-term bull session that we've been in. We've had a few green months lately. It is not looking so good here. I want to just point something out there. Going back to 2018, you can see, I believe it's 14 red months, followed by 5 green. You can see it on the left half of your screen. 14 red candles, 5 green. Well, you fast forward to the recent timeline, we have 13 red candles, followed by 5 green, and it looks like that green's about to maybe curve to the downside there. Joe, you've been in this game for a while here. Not basketball. You've been playing basketball for a long time. No, I mean crypto. Do you think that this is going to play out in a similar fashion to 2018, 2019? Mind you, We ended up blipping down to 3,500 during that COVID crash, March 2020. Do you see something similar here? I mean, are we about to have a whole bunch of red months, then followed by a bull market?
Well, thanks, GZ, for having me back. Smash the like button, everyone. But no, I see more green. I'm with Piano Matty B down there. Honestly, I think a lot of people are expecting red, but I think they're gonna get a squeeze up, and we're gonna get green, and then potentially DZ, we could see some more red. So to me personally, there's a lot of indicators that are showing us that we are still bullish. And what's really interesting, though, to me is I've been sharing this on my channel a lot. The altcoin index right now is at like a 4. It's only been like a negative like 4 or 5, like one other time in history. This is like crazy to see how low altcoins are. So to me, that's all I'm focused on, because while Bitcoin in the short term might go up and down maybe 20, 30% at the most, some of these altcoins are going to be going up and down, potentially 5x, 10x, and maybe 50x in the future. So, to me, I'm more focused on that. I will pay attention to Bitcoin in the market, overall, but I'm more bullish, honestly. And the charts are showing that. And also, things do play out a little bit similarly, like we saw in 2017, 2018, 2019. But also, I think it's going to be a little bit different. It's a little bit of a different environment. And I'm leaning more bullish than bearish at this point.
All right. Well, let's see. Factor, I'm going to try to pin you down on this. Or how are you feeling, bullish or bearish? I'm looking at the price right now. We're 27,791. That is according to CoinGecko. We're almost literally in the dead middle between 25 and 30K. That would be 27,500, about $200 and change. Really close here. What do you think we're going to hit first, 25 or 30? Are you bearish or bullish?
30K. 30K, and I do believe we might take a small retrace and hit it again and break it. I think it's weak. I've been bullish since 15.6K, man. So I'm still seeing Bitcoin at 40, 50K by the end of the year. Sure, we might have some ups and downs, but generally speaking, I agree with everyone else. I'm pretty bullish at this point, and I'm going to stay a bull because there's nothing that proves it otherwise right now. There's nothing. Even if we go down to 25K, I'll tell you this, even if we go to 20K or above 20K, we're still bullish. Chart-wise, we're still bullish, and I'm still bullish on Bitcoin right now. Nothing has negated this view so far.
What would it take? Would it take below that 15,500?
25,000 would make me sweat and start looking at charts like a hawk and everything, and just being like focused on it. If it breaks 20K and there's a candle close below it, I would say would go for a double bottom at that point. But again, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see that. The probabilities for me are extremely low. I'm looking at upside.
All right. Well, speaking of upside, Army Piper, I think the whales are feeling some upside here. We've seen some whale activity. Whales are buying across the board. A lot of buyers, even at levels higher than 27,700. I'm looking at, this is between 27.2 and 27.9, so a little bit below, a little bit above us. They've accumulated 700,000 Bitcoin, taking this Bitcoin off exchanges, self-custodying them. How are you feeling moving forward? Are you feeling bullish? Are you feeling bearish? Are you agreeing with the whales right now?
Brother, I've been bullish for a long time. If you actually take a look at the weekly chart, there was a head and shoulders pattern that the breakout of that neckline took us to the bottom, like literally to the bottom of this cycle. So I've been bullish since then. And I've been entering into a lot of trades. I've been accumulating. Most of my portfolio that I now have was all bought during that lowest period there. So I've been bullish for a long time. And yeah, I absolutely think that the sentiment of the whales right now should be bullish, because if the trend is your friend till the end, then you got to look at it from a macro perspective. And the trend is, we're coming out of the bear market. The crypto winter is over. Things are thawing. It's time for price to start heating up. We're less than 12 months out from the halving, and we know what the parabolic potential is on the run up into that halving mark. So if you're not bullish right now, you haven't been studying the 4-year cycle, and you obviously don't watch enough YouTube. You better get onto some shows. So
do you think those monthlies are going to play out the same way?
So even if it does, so let's look at June of 2019. We went from the all-time high to the bottom if you do the fibs on that, we actually came back up in June of 2019 and we hit the golden pocket. If we did that right now, the golden pockets would put us at 50,000. After that, there was a 50% replacement or retracement. That would put us back at 25K. So what is that? I mean, I'm going to go ahead and take some profit on 50K run up out of my portfolio. And I'm going to wait for us to see if we get that 50% retracement back down to 25, start DCAing. My mindset is, in May, go away. It was no, in May, DCA. And if you haven't been doing it, you missed out some opportunities here. So
I like that. And that golden pocket hitting 50K, well, that was Crypto Factor's number. So Factor, I'm going to give you 1 extra point just to see if it does play out. Not everyone is out here saying, I think it's going to 50K this year. So we admire the bravery here. All right, well, we have a super chat I do want to share. Hawk Crypto Mining Company enjoying the show with an exclamation point. If you want to give us a real life exclamation point, go ahead, hit that like button. I think we are 137. I think we can get up to 87 million by the end of today. All right, well, let's move forward and talk a little Tether. I want to pull up Tether's market cap right here. They are just absolutely blowing all stable coins out of the water. Here you can see their market cap, 83 billion. Their closest competitor, which was the number 4 ranked coin at one point, now down to number 5, 28. So from 83 to 28, you're looking at roughly about 1/3 of the amount of stable coins that they have. Well, they just announced some pretty big plans. They're going to mine a little currency called Bitcoin with their excess capital. Guys, they have over about $2.5 billion in excess reserves. It's a whole lot of Bitcoin mining equipment. I don't know if that's all going to that, but they're going to be mining this in Uruguay, one of the top renewable energy havens in the world. Rough estimates, about 98% of their energy is renewable. So we got Tether out here mining Bitcoin in Uruguay. They have billions of dollars. Joe, is this hot or not? Cheers or jeers? What is your take here?
Honestly, when I first saw this, that was I think it's a good thing. I think they're, at least they're putting that money to work. They're putting it back into, Uruguay and basically, helping the whole Bitcoin network. It needs all the help it can get with these BRC20 tokens now. Like transactions are, more expensive. And I think that if that whole ecosystem continues to evolve, and if people don't know what BRC20 tokens are, they're basically, very similar to NFTs, I guess you would say, is the closest comparison on Ethereum. And so I think that Bitcoin and that entire network is going to continue to keep growing, and we need more miners. We really do need miners that are going to secure the network. And I think that for more and more people to keep adopting on Bitcoin, like, let's say we actually get, millions more people that end up buying Bitcoin in this next cycle. We're going to need more people mining as well. So to me personally, I think it's, good overall for the entire cryptocurrency space and for Bitcoin. And, I applaud Tether for doing it. So good for them.
All right, we have some super subs. Crypto Billy, reminder, flat smack the like button for DZ and the gang. Appreciate that there. All right, well, Crypto Factor, if Tether does use their excess funds to mine Bitcoin, does that change your opinion of their strength, of their viability? Does this make them stronger in your mind or weaker in your mind?
Obviously, it's a power play, and obviously it will make them stronger, and obviously it will help the ecosystem in general. Just one thing I want to say, I respect Joe a lot. Just want to make a better comparison. BRC20 tokens would be like ERC20 tokens. NFTs would be more like ordinals. So just a little small reference there for people out there that want to trade BRC20 or ordinals or SRC20s and stamps, which is also the equivalent. But anyway, it gets a bit confusing. We even have DRC20 tokens on Dogecoin now. But as I was saying, no, it's a power play. It's much better. It's also good. It's probably excess capital they needed to invest anyway. It helps the ecosystem out a lot. It helps. It raises confidence, and it also raises confidence not in Bitcoin but Tether as well. So I think it's a power play. It's excellent, and I think it's very good for the industry in general.
No, you said something really good there. They need to invest that anyways. I think we're, with our shrinking value of our dollar, it's honestly probably the best argument I've heard thus far here. Well, I want to quote their CTO here, Matty, Paulo Ardoino. I think Tether is proud to spearhead a movement that combines cutting edge technology, sustainable practices, and financial innovation. Do you think this financial innovation, does it have Circle worried? What do you think the Circle team is thinking right now? Are they counting their days until their a nothing coin?
Geez. When I see these giant companies start flexing how much money they have and what they're going to do, I have a little like Do Kwon PTSD. I'm like, what? Just keep your mouth shut, invest privately, make your money silently, and then just prove to everyone how much staying power you have. But every time they say that they're going to do this or do that, listen, anyone who's ever told me they had lots of money never had any money. Anyone who told me I was super good at a sport was never good at that sport, right? And so, plus, whenever I hear renewable energy, I kind of like, geez, what does that even mean in this day and age? I go skating down the ESG weirdness. Is this a signal that they're trying to put out? And what is renewable energy? Like, where is it stored? Where is 98% of this renewable energy stored? Is how many kids in Africa are standing barefoot in a poison puddle, mining cobalt to get these batteries to store this thing? So when I hear that, it's like, well, that isn't that true. Renewable energy is kind of a misnomer to a certain degree. So how much of the story is actually true? But I think your question was about USDC. Yeah, I don't think they're worried. I'm more worried about USDC anyway. I almost got wrecked off of USDC, but luckily she came back. So I have PTSD on USDC, not Tether, but all the best to Tether. And hopefully they follow through with all their big plans.
Yeah, I remember us talking about that a couple months ago. That was a pretty scary period where, USDC isn't stable? This is not good. Well, Army Piper, he kind of brought up a good point, just generally speaking about the people that say they have XYZ, the kid in the 8th grade gym class. Hey, I have the largest dog at home, then you go there. It's a toy poodle. I saw it. Is this a steady lads moment? Is this a Do Kwon? Oh, maybe we should actually be worried here. Or is this more like crypto factor? They have excess capital. They probably need to invest it anyways. Yep.
So one thing that I'm watching for here is this was definitely a big play on their part, because Uruguay, and an article towards the end of 2022 here coming in, they had the largest renewable energy in all of Central and South America. Interestingly enough, they also had the highest energy cost in Central and South America. So this wasn't about a play to go someplace where it was going to be cheaper for them to mine. This was a play for them to show the regulators in America that they're playing on a clean level, right? So look, we're using clean renewable energy because we know everyone in America likes renewable energy, but we also know that the people in America are not necessarily the biggest fans of crypto either. So I think this was a big play for them to move down there, get into some nice political messaging, if you will, of clean energy, and to find a way to mine some energy. Because if they were doing it to mine for the cheapest way, they definitely didn't go to the cheapest place. They're doing this for messaging, and I don't think that that it's going to fool anyone. But at the end of the day, I'm just curious to see what they do with all this Bitcoin that they get. They talked about putting 15% of all of their yields into Bitcoin. Does that include selling off some Bitcoin that you mine? So no one's really thought about that, and that's the question that I would like the answer to. So
Army Piper, real quick, stronger or weaker after this move?
Man, with the regulators in the United States, stronger.
Okay.
I don't think that it makes them stronger in the grand scheme of things, though. I still think that Tether has got some proving ground that they need to make some gains on, and they need to show people where all of their liquidity is. They still haven't had a full transparency, so we'll see.
Yeah, only vague attestations. Let us know at home. Is it stronger now or is it weaker? Tether mining Bitcoin. What do you guys think? I think it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, to me, I think it's a pretty good time to be mining some Bitcoin under 30K. All right, well, let's talk about a potential dump soon. Yeah, that's right. We talked about it in the front part of the show. If you're sticking around, please hit that like button if you haven't already. We're talking about SWE. We're talking about optimism. Let's just pull up SWE first. It is, according to CoinGecko, it's a rank 84 on its market cap right now. You can see its circulating supply, about 500 million. Total, 10 billion. This is 5.2% of the tokens. Let's go to Optimism. Optimism, no, I don't want to buy Bitcoin here. Optimism, rank 97, so a little bit lower market cap, but, arguably much better, twice as good tokenomics here. We have $335 million out of $4.2 billion. You're looking at, above 5%, less than 10%, roughly probably 8% of the tokens are out in circulation. But they are about to have a token unlock, folks. That is tokens hitting the market. A lot of times they're sold, folks, if I'm just going to be honest here. The token unlock, current price is about 2 hours ago. We did the math. A combined $650 million about to hit the market right now. Both are going to increase significantly. Optimism is going to double their supply after the unlock, with 387 million being released today. That's about 590 million. SWE is going to be a smaller unlock, 61 million, but they're going to slowly end up doubling their supply as well. They're unlocking 61 million on June 3rd. That's $62 million worth, a little bit more than that. And SWE, they're going to be unlocking until November, folks, and then in which case it should double, according to the team, similar to Optimism here. Well, Joe, you've traded these BNB tokens. You've seen a lot of this before. I mean, not everyone just, you've traded more than ETH and Bitcoin, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Are tokens with unlocks usually dead?
I mean, no, I wouldn't say they're usually dead, because
most tokens
they can.
Probably.
I mean, look, it depends on the token itself, right?
Well, I was not to cut you off. I was going to say, most tokens have more unlocks. So, I mean, yeah, it's just kind of a normal thing. Most, very, very rarely do they unlock with everything day one.
For sure. I mean, look, this is very important to talk about, actually. And the reason why it's so important to talk about is because you need to, before making any investments, and this isn't financial advice, but you need to understand all of these details with these cryptocurrency new altcoins. Okay, Bitcoin has a fixed supply, right? Ethereum, is now inflationary and deflationary. So, but there's just a lot of stuff going on here with these new projects. If you look at Optimism, the pre-sale price, the seed round, is still at 95x. At a 0.015, according to this, is when that came out. So those people, if they get their tokens, they're up 95 times on their money. What typically happens, as you alluded to, DZ, yes, they sell. Now, the good news is, though, and this is kind of to answer your question, is it going to die out? What typically happens is a redistribution of wealth, right? These early investors, they take their profits, and then people who are, a little bit later to the game, but also believers, they get to come in, get cheaper prices. And then if they plan on holding, it kind of is a redistribution pattern. If you see this, and you can see this with Bitcoin and Ethereum, because what they do, they pump, they dump, they pump, they dump, they pump, they dump, but they keep going up and to the right if the project has solid fundamentals and more people are buying than holding. So no, not necessarily will every project just dump and die and go to zero. A lot of them do. I'd say 99 out of every 100 of them do. And it's because they don't have marketing, a good team. They don't have a real product. They don't have a whole list of things. But yeah, I just wanted to share this because, these little details are very important. And this is exactly what I stress on my channel. Because if you don't know these things and you're investing in altcoins, you could buy at the wrong place at the wrong time. And as good as the altcoin is or isn't, if there's an unlock, then that could be problematic.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And even if DCA is the way, you can time your DCA. Oh, I should DCA on a Wednesday next week rather than this Friday. You can time it. We do have a super sub. I like SWE, but man, only 5.28% of their tokens unlocked right now. I mean, I'm feeling the same sentiment right now. Crypto Factor, Joe, he brought up a scenario that sometimes plays out. I want to ask you, do you think it'll play out this time? Is there going to be a selling frenzy from the early investors with SWE and Optimism? Muted. It's those early investors. They muted you.
Sorry about that. Well, probably because of my answer. Yes, of course. Right? Of course they're going to sell. They're going to take profits. And as Joe said, there's a redistribution of wealth, and that's the name of the game. Now, will it continue going up? I'm not sure. I don't know much about SWE. I haven't really looked into it that extensively, to be quite honest. But if they're doing the unlock now, just around before the halving and after the halving, there is a chance a lot of that will be taken up. Depending on how much hype marketing they're doing, depending on their marketing, depending if they have any partnerships, depending if they have anything in play to be able to bring up enough interest so people will buy tokens, maybe they'll see the price not drop as much, and maybe that will just become more hype. We don't know what they're doing. At least I don't know what they're doing. But generally speaking, yes, unlocks are something to look at. But to be quite honest with you, I don't really look at them that often. I look at more at the charts, and I look more at sentiment, and I look more at if I basically do a Vrint score and look at who's behind the project. But yeah, I definitely agree with Joe on this one.
Yeah, no, you actually bring up a good point. I don't look at unlocks too much myself either. And oftentimes people try to time it and short it and long it. And, you end up like, oh, I should sell on this day. Well, if everyone's thinking that it's the wrong day to buy, then you end up being someone's exit liquidity. Piano Matty B, what about yourself, though? You are a TA guy. I mean, do you bring in any token unlocks into your TA strategy? Is there room to combine the two when you're trying to invest?
Not really. Like I said it before, I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm a human minimalist. So when you get into these altcoins, you have to understand that you're getting married to other humans' motivations that you don't know. It's like if anyone's ever been in a band, you start a band and everyone's gung-ho about it. Everyone's getting along. But once something goes bad, it goes bad really quick. And then it's over for the band. But this is also like the cycle of investment life. So you get people pumping it, getting a lot of money, and they sell it. And I guess the loser will be either holding the bag, but then that money, that liquidity ends up going back into something else. If not that token, then something else, and so on and so on and so on. You just got to be careful. I mean, these things are so volatile and so crazy. You got to wear a helmet. Easy. You got to wear a helmet.
Right. Well, Piano, don't all those profits go into the Lamborghini dealership? That's what I was told.
Yeah,
okay.
Up here, it goes into redesigning your igloos up here in Canada.
Well, all right. Well, I got to give myself the memo because I keep forgetting to take profit at all-time highs. Hey, I'd have 20 Lambos by now, right? All right. Well, Army Piper, I want to ask you just about the L2 space in general with Ethereum. We have optimism. We have SWE. These token unlocks just seem to be making a generally bearish sentiment in these communities. Do these OP, SWE, do these L2s, do any of them have what it takes to dethrone Matic? Is Polygon always going to be King L2?
Come on, brother. Come on. Matic is the GOAT, dude. They've got the best development team around. They got the best marketing around. They had made all of the right relationships. They were the first mover. Like, it's going to take a whole lot of something that's bigger than SUI or any of the other competitors out there. Optimism, all of them. They're all just trying to be the next Matic, really. That's what they're doing. But Matic was the first mover. Their ZK and EVMs are just phenomenal for Ethereum. They've been shouted out by Vitalik Buterin. I mean, when you look at optimism, I think they're already baked in, by the way, because they've had a 56% drop since February. So I think their token release has already been baked in. But there's absolutely going to be people that rush in to buy and that are going to get trying to get that, there's going to be a pump, buy the rumors, sell the news. But yeah, they're going to get wrecked. They're going to be somebody's liquidity exit, and that's all it's going to be. Don't get me wrong. There's some decent projects out there. I think SUI has some decent fundamentals, but at the end of the day, it is not a Matic. Polygon owns the field right now when it comes to layer twos, and the relationship that the developers have over there with just tweaking the right code in for Ethereum is going to keep them locked into that position. I think they're solid there, and I don't think that they're ever going to get touched by it. If it is, then start watching out closely for it, because we remember the last time we had something that started to make a big run up, and that was Solana. And we know what happened with that. SBF was behind all of it, and everyone got rug pulled and wrecked. Yeah. So don't get wrecked on the next thing trying to be the next Polygon Matic. So
yeah, remember the 5th of November when your wallet got dismembered. We have a super chat from Beefy Taco, Maddie's hair +1. I think he's the only one with some, so we're going to give him 1 extra point there. All right, well, that is all we have time for now. Piano Matty B, you could leave us with some parting thoughts, but I think people might want to hear about a bad band story. Have you been involved in any bad bands, or has it been all roses and peaches?
Oh my God, DZ. I would listen. The greatest band I was ever in was called Leader House, but it has the worst ending story ever. And it gets down to some criminal behavior that I can't even get onto it because there was young people involved. But let me tell you, when you have a great band, you usually have a great exit. But I wanted to thank you guys again for having me. And a quick shout out to Johnny December, Misco, Crypto, KC, Bulls on Parade. They join me on my live stream, my piano live stream every Friday, Saturday. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for tuning into this amazing show. This is where you get all the alpha. Everyone on this show has a little specialty in their field. So it's always a treat. Thanks again.
Well, you said young. Hopefully, the breakup of the band had nothing to do with like Bill Gates or any islands.
It was between the guys. It was between the guys in the band, of all things.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's
all right.
all
Well,
I'm
hey,
gonna say.
guys, you have to go and check out all these channels. These people, they got great alpha, great stories, and just great channels all around. So please go into the description. Make sure you're following everybody you see here. I think that's all we got time for. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a great 3-day weekend. Hit that like button. Easy out.